Hi, good to see you. Well, actually, I'm sitting and you're in probably holiday because it's King's birthday weekend. Now, I want to say to you, and I think I'm talking for a lot of people, I don't think many of us will be thinking about King Charles's birthday, having a cake and candles and celebrating the fact that King Charles has got a birthday today. No, I don't think so. I think most of us are taking advantage, if you can, and got enough money for fuel and all the other associated costs to do a road trip somewhere. I don't know, but I want to talk a little bit about the 2026 budget that's just come out. Budget, all right. I don't think there was anything in there for you or me or us, but I want to talk about a couple of things that I think will make your eyebrows raise and spew, literally, in what they did. So let's talk about, first of all, what politicians are thinking, though, because I just talked about what you could be thinking in King's birthday weekend. Politicians are not thinking about high cost of living. They're thinking about their pay rises coming. They are not thinking about how we're going to hold our job, or if I got a job tomorrow. They're thinking about the perks that come with the job. They're also not thinking about the future of your children, and I'm thinking about my grandchildren and great-grandchildren's future. No, politicians are thinking about your vote that's coming up in November. They want that vote. That's the one time that us, the people, you, the people, we, the people, the most important three words Donald Trump said in the Constitution. And he also said, I'm not in Parliament for power. I'm in Parliament to give the power to where it belongs, to the people. Well, that's hardly happening in New Zealand. Politicians are getting ready to try and cling to power. They want to get your vote out of you by hook or crook. They will promise all sorts of stuff. They are pretty good at it. They are sorcerers of the highest kind. Give us your vote and we'll make you happy. That's not happened at all in any political party that I've seen get in there. Okay, so let's look at this budget that Nicola Willis brought out. They called it a bread and butter one. I think one of the commentators called it a margarine and bread one. I call it a waste of time budget because it really gave us nothing. Did you know they gave $58 million to the Prime Minister's office? Or did they give it to the Prime Minister? I don't know. That's a bit cheeky. But what on earth would they be doing in the budget, which is national, giving themselves, or the Prime Minister's office, I understand, $58 million? What's that for? Help his skills in PR or something like that? I don't know, but $58 million would go a long way for the firefighters, teachers, nurses, anything like that. Oh, heaven forbid why these people are allowed to get away with this. But it gave somebody something, and that somebody was Winston Peters. Of all of the people in New Zealand, all of those now are ready to liquidate their businesses, lose their companies, their jobs, thinking about how we're going to make it through tomorrow. Winston Peters gets a beautiful boost of $275 million. 275 million. I got that right. $275 million to the Foreign Affairs Minister. No, not the keep New Zealand and putting Kiwis first, or the Minister of helping Kiwis get homes, keep their jobs, or help our children's future. No, this is all about foreign affairs. I actually thought that Nicola didn't like Winston. In fact, she did some political attacks on him recently, but now she makes up to Winston. That's $275 million.
His annual budget is $2 billion.
His annual budget
for foreign affairs is $2 billion.
$2 billion.
If you break that down, that is $5.4 million a day we as Kiwis are sending overseas for foreign affairs.
$5.4 million a day that comes down to, that's spent on the Foreign Affairs Office to overseas interest. What could you do? What could we do with $5.4 million? You could build 8 homes a day That's how many homes you can build. You can actually take children off poverty. Look at the child poverty figures in this country. What could 5.4 million do? 5.4 million should be spent on refurbishing Marsden Point, getting our fuel refined here, not having such a crisis. This is an outrage that so much money is going to foreigners first and not Kiwis first. Now, you're telling me he's got $2 billion.
So that's his total.
That's his total package.
Now. Now, it gets worse when you start to break it down.
You break it down, that's what you did.
Because 1.1 billion of that 2 billion is actually going specifically in foreign aid and development for other countries, to help other countries. So not to help Kiwis first, to help foreigners first.
Not frontline workers.
No.
Not the nurses, not the teachers, not the firefighters.
Well, you've got elderly who can't even afford to buy meat at the moment.
So elderly can't buy meat.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of families are on bread line.
Yeah, families are struggling to put food on the table. We've got like our homeless numbers out of control.
Homelessness has gone through the roof.
Yeah.
Listen to that. Homelessness has gone to the roof. It's everywhere. And you're telling me in this budget that National gave New Zealand First, Winston Peters, $275 million, and 5.4 million a day is going offshore to foreign aid or foreign programs.
And where it gets worse is that every other government department is having to make
Cutbacks. Yep.
So the departments that are actually helping Kiwis are having to make cutbacks, but a department that's actually helping overseas countries is getting a big boost. That's pretty crazy when you think about it.
So we got over $5 million going every day out of New Zealand to help foreigners.
Yeah.
And
they call themselves New Zealand First.
They call themselves New Zealand First. Look, I'm not picking on Winston. People say, oh, you're picking on William. I didn't do the budget. And of all the needs that are in New Zealand, and the homeless has gone through the roof, you can't get a house for a family, you can hardly make ends meet with the fuel crisis and the food crisis, whatever else we've got going, and you've got National giving New Zealand First, $275 million.
And then in that, there's this will even bite more and will trigger for a lot of people, is that 69 million of his $2 billion budget, 69 million is going to international organisations like UN, WHO, all of these international organisations. That's a huge chunk of Kiwi change.
Say that figure again to
69
our viewers.
million.
Did you hear that? $69 million going to the globalists. Yeah. If you ever wanted to know about voting as for Winston as being our only hope out of all those other losing parties, I'm afraid he isn't. He's still a globalist. And that whole parliamentary system is still globalist. I think some of these programs like the you're talking about the United Nations, WHO, that's the World Health Organization.
Well, and even in addition to that, because it gets even worse.
Are you not going to, do not touch climate change, is it?
Yeah, well, he's got money going towards climate funding, which is, you guessed it, the Paris Accord.
The Paris Accord.
Yes.
Well, I want to say this down the barrel to the farmers of this country. The Paris Accord is not going to go away. Hello. National just funded New Zealand First. How do you like joining the dots here? All this money to continue to prop up what is a great big hoax, a fraud, climate change and the Paris Accord. I tell you, Jen.
There's also money going into refugee development programs. So when you're talking about immigration problems,
this gets worse.
The Foreign Affairs is investing money into refugee programs.
Winston's throwing millions into the refugee program, which is obviously one of the portals into this country through mass immigration.
And
wow.
And it's not even clearly defined because it's hidden. Even how much money goes into his travel fund, because it's across all of the appropriation lines, it's all kind of split up.
So great-grandpa Winston is actually claiming huge travel benefits. I have no doubt, because did you notice in every coalition that he sneaks in, and he's been in a few, he's been, I think, Deputy Prime Minister about 5 times, 3 big coalitions. He loves getting the foreign affairs job.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think that's because of the, first class air travel? Stays in 5-6-star hotels. He gets the fine wine and dining. But here's this. He gets the mix with the biggies, all the big politicians, prime ministers, foreign affairs ministers, and of all of these visits and all of them, you keep working too, by the way, you slaves, you tax slaves. Keep working hard as hell because Winston depends on you. Now, this is, honestly.
So before we're funding the rest of the world, we should be funding New Zealand.
That's the key of this. We should not be sending foreign aid in its millions, and now I understand billions of dollars, any type of climate change on the Paris Accord or the globalist elites. This is what Winston's doing. All this millions and billions of dollars should be going to correcting our high cost of living and our fuel crisis. Start working for Kiwis. It's not working for Kiwis. This is working for foreigners. Did you hear me, Kiwis? New Zealanders? I'm sorry to give you this bad news, but it should cheer you up because there is a solution. And you'll hear in one of my other podcasts about how to get out of this mess.
Yeah, well, exactly. And this is where we take the power back as the people, because the politicians clearly don't care about us. This is the people versus the politicians. And while Kiwis are struggling to wonder if they're still going to have a job, these politicians are wondering if they're still going to have a seat. And I heard you say something really good about the axe hanging over Parliament.
That's the referendum of reform.
Yes, absolutely. What do you think about that?
Well, I did say that. I think I prayed it in our mass prayer meeting this morning where there's a lot of other people praying. And one of the things I prayed was that politicians wouldn't be too happy about the fact that there is an axe hanging over their jobs. They should lose their jobs, really, for what they've done to this country. And that's only really possible, New Zealand, if you get behind our referendum of reform. All it needs is your signature to reduce the number, 120 MPs to 65. And you know what? You're going to be saving another $50 million of the $100 million that we pay 123 MPs and the associated costs. All around, you can see where the pain is and the problem is. It's in Parliament. So, listen, we need you to sign that. That's got nothing to do with Brian Tamaki. You're not supporting me or you're not anything I'm doing. I'm just, like you, becoming aware we've got a rogue Parliament and they are not helping Kiwis. They're helping themselves. So the referendum of reform, sign it. Please, go online. It's on the
True Patriots.
True Patriots. Go.
Yeah, truepatriots.org.nz/ROR.
There it is. So if you go online, get that, get it signed. That's all you have to do. Block letters, your name, signature, then send it back to where we want it because they want it in actually the old-fashioned form of being signed and block letters, your name. This is so important. So thank you very much. And how King's happy birthday to who? I understand that United Kingdom and London, let me say this before we go, they literally now had enough of the monarchy. This might be an interesting conversation for Kiwis to have about the monarchy. How relevant is it for New Zealanders to stay in a king that even their own country don't want? He actually supports Islam and the invasion more than the people of his own country and the Christians. So I think that will be for another day, but thank you for listening and have a great time. Or if you've been away, have a great time and we'll see you again soon.